I'm a survivor, survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor, survivor. I'm a survivor.
There we go.
Survivor.
I have not figured that darn thing out yet. I want to have a really smooth transition from our intro to our little show here to when I fade in, and I've not figured that out yet. Hey folks, Lester here, and today I have a very exciting guest. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I'm going to say something, and I hope that this makes sense to you all. We have both Facebook and YouTube who have joined in, so welcome to you all. How is it that sometimes the folks with the most to say are the last ones to say it? That's my question to you. And I wonder how many of you are that person. You have so much to share and so much to say, yet you're one of the last ones to ever speak out or speak up. And that's my opening question to you all before I bring on our special guest. Thank you for the compliments. I don't wear a hat inside the house. I've always heard that was bad mannerism, and I don't do that. But I'm doing it for you and for my special guest. So I'll take my cap on my hat off as soon as she comes in. I hope everything looks nice for her. I want to make a really good impression. No one's answered my question yet, and I'm curious why no one's talking about it, because it's true. Sometimes those with the most to say are the last ones to ever speak up, and I don't know why it is. Anywho, hey, wait a minute. Someone's saying, I know it's going to be Tina. I know it's Tina. All right, well then, with no further ado, my friends, I would like to introduce to you my sister Tina. Here she comes, Tina.
Hi, what are you wearing? My gosh.
Don't start. Tina, don't start.
Where
Tina,
did you get that hat?
Tina, first of all, it was a gift. Stop. Tina, don't do it.
I guess it matches your farmer shirt.
So there's a funny story behind this shirt. I did not know where this shirt came from. I found it in one of my drawers when I was cleaning my drawers out. And I made a really big deal about this shirt because I don't know where it came from. Ended up that Jamie had bought me this shirt. I wore it one time to Xander's graduation. That's her son's graduation. I never remembered what I was wearing. And so it was in my drawer, and I found this shirt, and I could not think where it had come from because I know all of my shirts. And Tina, it created one of the biggest arguments around here of where did that shirt come from? And I think
that's the funniest story because one time Robert found some men's sunglasses in my truck, and he just literally like lost it on these sunglasses, and I'm just like,
he needs to.
And I said, well, he uses my truck from time to time. Like we used to have a boat. He'd go fishing. He'd take my truck. He picked up his friends. So they were in the pocket of the door, the passenger pocket. And he's like, no, you were probably driving and rode somebody around. I'm like, I am too old to be riding men around in my truck. Like, that's not what I would do anyway. But that's not who I am. But anyway, it was so stupid over the sunglasses. And months later, he saw one of his friends and they told him, hey, Rob, I think I left my good sunglasses in your truck. And Robert like broke them. Like he showed a really hissy fit. So it's hilarious you said that about a shirt.
But thank God that friend come up and says, hey, man, I lost my sunglasses or whatever, because otherwise he'd still be not trusting you to this day. I don't know.
Well, I even have a funnier story than that. So one time, Robert is Hispanic, and Hispanic men culturally tend to be a little jealous.
Tina, time out. Can I say something real fast?
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who does not know our family, and you all think that I'm the talker in the family, you've never met Tina until today. Tina can out-talk any of us. And action. Go ahead, Tina.
Okay, so Robert comes home from work and he's real particular, real OCD about keeping the concrete clean. If he changes the oil, he puts a cardboard under it for a couple of days to keep the concrete looking beautiful. Anyway, so one day he says, "Who's parked in the driveway?" And I'm like,
Oh no.
"Nobody's been here, honey." He's like, "There's an oil spot in the driveway."
An oil
And I'm
spot.
like, "An oil spot on the drive?" Yes. And I was like, "Don't be stupid." And he kind of got it. He didn't say too much, but kind of annoyed. And then literally that night or the next day, I backed my truck out and I saw a spot and I went in there. I said, "My truck's leaking oil. That's where the oil come from."
How
So just
scary,
so
though.
silly. Just so silly. Men are silly people.
That is silly. And, it's not just men, though. As a matter of fact, we had our boat races, the cardboard boat races a couple of weeks back. Now, you guys are out of town. But the thing is, somebody had come inside the house and changed clothes. And I don't know why they left a little baggie full of their undergarments, panties and bra. Okay. They took their shirt and shorts. I don't know why they took their shirt and shorts, but they left their panties and bra in a little bag, like a Walmart bag. And they left it here in the bathroom. I don't know why. And all of a sudden, Jamie was out of town for a couple of days. She comes back and she's cleaning up and she finds this Walmart bag with panties and
Oh my
bra.
gosh.
And all of a sudden, she accuses me of these horrific things. And I'm like, listen, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where the panties and bra come from. She's like, show me the panties. And they're like, all, cute panties. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But we do have a hot tub here. She was just certain that someone was over here in the hot tub. While
Would she have felt better if they were granny panties?
Yeah, probably. Anywho, at some point, she begins to put one and one together. And she goes on to Family Messenger and finds out that I think it was Brienne that ended up changing clothes over here that day and forgot to take her stuff. And man, it just created so much drama. So Tina, the thing is, I'm older than you are. Jamie's older than Rob. I don't know if some people ever outgrow it. I'm just glad that you and me are not that way. I'm glad that you and me are not that way, right? We're not, because I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not either.
I'm
I'm not. We have lived through some drama, you and I. And I say that because, Tina, we're both middle childs. We're both middle children. And middle children, if people don't know this, live the most drama ever. And I know that in one of your little videos, and I'll get to your channel momentarily, but I know that in your introduction video, you talk about middle children and how difficult our lives are and were. And has it ever changed, Tina? Has it ever changed? Or even at our age, do we still find ourselves on the outs? I'll just say on the outs.
I will always be walking in Sister Kim's shadow. That is my role in life.
Yes, yes. And I will always be in Daniel's shadow, even though he's a lot bigger shadow than I am. But I will always be in his shadow, figuratively and literally, Tina. But it is what it is. Anyway, the reason I have you on, Tina, I'm just so darn proud of you. I am so very proud of you. I've been talking to you for a while and asking you to start your channel, because you have so many stories. You have amazing stories. And I don't want to get into it right now, but you have probably some of the deeper stories of overcoming adversity, stories of overcoming so many obstacles in life that a lot of people have no idea about all of the things that you have to talk about. And I know as of now, you've not made those videos, but you and I have talked about it. And at some point you will talk about your truth. And those are going to be the videos that people are not going to want to miss, because they're very inspirational in the things that you've had to overcome. And they give a lot of hope to people that find themselves now who are struggling from similar issues, or if not the exact same, other types of, life's adversities. So your stories are going to be powerful, and I'm super excited about your channel. What I'm going to do right now, and I'll let you know, Tina, right now we're using an app called StreamYard. Now, you don't know about this yet, but eventually you're going to have to learn it. StreamYard is a really cool app that we have to pay for, but it brings all of our channels into one device like we're having right now. So as of right now, I have both of the YouTubes and both of the Facebooks, all four into one. And what's cool about that is otherwise, when you go live, you can only go live to one channel or the other. You can't go to all, but StreamYard makes that possible. Anyway, right now we're looking at 5,700 people watching you. Have you ever presented to 5,000 people in your life?
No.
You have not. Now you're a school teacher, so you do have to get up in front of the faculty on occasion and do embarrassing things or whatever. Talk a little bit about what you're doing right now and tell everyone why I don't have you for very long.
I am on my conference right now. As you can see, I'm in my classroom behind me. I'm an 8th grade reading teacher. I have honor students, honor 8th grade reading, and I have level 8th grade reading. And I have one class of newcomers to the United States. There's 8 of them that speak no English. So that's really fun for me. I enjoy them probably the most because they love me the most. So I get off my conference at like 12:25. So I've told Lester, I have to be off by 12:24. I got to greet my kids at the door. But so I'm a teacher. I also did this really crazy thing, and I'm really trying to figure out what I was purpose. Bennett told me I'm going through a midlife crisis. I don't know, but I started a master's program. And I'm very far along, I feel like, in my teaching career. I've been in the classroom for 15 years. It took me a long time to get through college. That's a whole nother story I can talk about another day.
We will talk about that. Not today, but that's a story.
But it took me a long time to get through college. I finally graduated college the year that I was diagnosed with cancer. So that's a whole other story.
Stop talking about it. Those are all for videos for later. Don't give away.
Okay. Anyway, so okay. So
Tina, I'm so sorry to say this, but people live for the cliff notes. Don't give away anything in a live, because the folks that follow the channel, or at least mine, if they get the cliff notes, that's all they want. So don't give away too much, ever.
Okay, so my youngest child, I work, I have my children. I've prided myself on being a mother, and my youngest child has moved out of my house and is going away to college. And Bennett still lives at home, but Bennett spends a lot of time. Bennett travels. He goes to G's a lot on the weekends. He works. He goes to school also. So Bennett's not really all the time there with me. Elijah was the baby. He stayed with me a lot. He was always very needy with mom, I need this, mom, I need this, right up until graduation day. It's mom, I need, mom, I need. Last night I got a phone call at like 10:30. Mom, I need this book. I didn't know I needed it till right now. I have to have it. So Elijah being gone left a big hole kind of in my day-to-day routine. So I joined a master's program. Also, I see friends at work that I've started working with growing around me. And I'm just like, I'm stagnant in this one position, and I really want to grow and do other things. I think I'm a born leader, so I want to do all these things. So I went back to master's school. So that has got me kind of really busy right now at night. Plus I work all day. Public education is very busy also. So I don't know.
Tina, teaching never leaves us. I've been out of the classroom now for about 3 years. And as we're talking, I'm taking notes and I'm jotting things down. Isn't that funny? And then people tell me all the time that the teacher in me is coming out in my videos. And so that's funny. We're going to talk more, Tina. And I know you got to go. I'm trying to watch my clock. I don't.
Well, I want to say one thing too for anyone that's watching my videos.
I need 1 minute of your time before you take over my live. Real fast. This is what I love to do. I need 1 minute, and I want the first answer out of your mouth. You ready? And we're moving fast. You ready for this?
Okay, I'm ready.
Favorite sport team?
Texans.
Okay.
No, it's the Astros. It's the Astros.
You can't change your mind after you think about it.
I don't know why I said Texans. It's the Astros.
Okay, the Astros. So I'm guessing
I really like the Astros.
Is your favorite sport.
But yeah, I like to watch baseball. Yeah.
Okay, your favorite type of animal.
Horse.
Okay, your favorite food.
Mexican.
Your biggest pet peeve.
People that drive slow in the fast lane.
Your favorite brother.
Kids that don't put their name on their paper.
Your favorite brother.
Lester.
Your favorite vacation spot.
Cancun.
What do you order from Starbucks?
I don't go to Starbucks. I make my own coffee at home, friends.
Good for you. Decaf.
I make my own coffee at home. I got a timer. It's ready when I get up in the morning.
Is it a flavored or just black, or how do you have your coffee?
I like flavors from time to time, but I like Folgers Black Silk, and I get the sugar-free creamer.
Ah, a chore that you dislike the most, something you have to do, but you don't like it.
I don't like folding clothes. I like to wash clothes. They're all clean, but I don't like folding them.
Your favorite?
Worse than that is putting them in the drawers. I hate that.
Oh, no, we don't put ours in the drawer. We let the cat sleep on top of them, and then they all fall over, and then you have to refold them. Last question, your favorite child. Oh, no, it doesn't matter what you say because we all have our favorite child of yours, and it's Bennett. And I hope that you know that. Bennett has been on my channel and around. He's helped me a whole lot for the last year and a half or so. He's also working with Jake. He's traveled with Gigi. So Bennett has made his presence known. And then you've made a couple of videos that are already on your channel that feature Bennett. He cooked for you guys one night as Chef Bennett. And of course, he brought you a special gift. So you don't have to say it, Tina, because your eyes speak for you. But we know how much you love all of your children, and you're a wonderful mom. It's
just because Bennett has faced so many challenges in his life.
Anybody, no one's going to judge.
No, listen. Bennett has faced so many challenges in his life, and I've always had to be, the guardian of Bennett.
Tina, stop telling people. Give them the whole story. You will learn, Tina. Video creators. You got to give the whole story in videos. Don't give cliff notes because you're going to learn. They will not watch. They will watch for 30 seconds and then move on to someone else's channel. So
I have the hardest time commenting on people's because I get a conference period basically 3 times a week and I have so much to do and I'm a team leader for my team and I start trying to comment because I feel bad if I don't comment on everybody's video. And I just run out of time. And then I'm like, oh, God, there's 100 more by the end of the day. How do I comment on everybody's video? That is the most stressful thing to me. I read them, guys. I read them. But sometimes I can just love it. I love it. I can't comment.
Tina, can you see on your screen? Does it show you a comment that I posted? Can you see that on your screen or not? I don't know what you can see from your side.
No, I don't see any comments.
Okay, so Eileen Robbins asked, Tina, do you ever have?
Oh, I see that. Yes. I thought it was going to be from you. I see that.
No. So she wants to know, will you ever start a Facebook? Because I'm going to tell you right now, there are Facebook people who do not do YouTube, and there are YouTube people who do not do Facebook. So my question to you is, right now you're on YouTube, and I'll just go ahead and say this. YouTube is an easier platform to get started on. It's a starter platform. Facebook is a whole lot more difficult. But do you ever have plans to maybe move over towards Facebook? If I was you, I would say no, not yet. Because if you say yes, then Eileen's not going to join you. She's not going to go watch you. She'll wait.
Okay. So I didn't know if I can put the same videos on Facebook that I do YouTube. And I didn't know if people were going to see them twice and they would be bored with that. So I didn't know if that was something I should do or not.
So we call them double dippers, and some people will watch you on both platforms. But unfortunately, Facebook and YouTube are at war. And so Facebook wants your videos up and down. YouTube wants them sideways. So it makes it really hard for creators to use this same content because we're going to struggle on one of the platforms. I'll talk more to you about that. But Tina, what I'm going to post right now is the name of your channel. And I hope I got it right. Tina and Rob, Life Off the Hill. And I think
we're living off the hill.
No, I think it's Life Off the Hill.
I think I'm living off the hill.
Are you sure? I don't want to mark it wrong.
Okay, let me go to my YouTube right now.
Okay, I'm going to mine also to double check you. You're right, Tina. It is Living Off the Hill. Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry.
You're like Robert. Robert asked me this question. I'm like, wait, then you make me second guess myself. It's Living Off the Hill.
Okay, so Tina and Rob, Living Off the Hill is what I put there at the bottom. And my friends, I know Tina has to go back to work. She's on her conference period right now. I'm not going to keep her. We'll talk more about Tina once she's gone. I can talk about her all day behind her back. It's a lot easier because, as you can see, I can't get words in otherwise. Tina, you're beautiful, and you have.
Wait, I have to say one thing before I leave, guys. Robert always has told me that I talk over him all the time. And they say I got it from my uncle RJ. I don't know where it came from. I think it's a Morrow trait, but I notice in some of the videos I tend to talk over him, but I think it's because I'm a teacher. And when kids are off task, I just talk over them to get the point across. I repeat myself 100,000 times a day. So it's just natural for me to repeat myself. So I hope people don't think I'm too bossy in the videos.
No, Tina, the thing is, it's okay because people will love you who you are. And the more real you can be, the more they're going to love you.
Here I am.
So real fast, Tina, I need to find out how did Rob win your heart? What was it about Rob that won your heart? Or do you want to say that for a video?
And I'll tell you real fast. I met Robert in a club.
Oh, Lord, a country western club?
No, Robert is not country western. Robert was, I thought he was like the Mexican mafia. He was just dripping in gold and he was Hispanic and he just looked so sexy to me. And he had a gold bracelet, gold watch, gold necklace, everything. And so I was drawn to him. And then when I saw him dance, that's all it took.
Oh my gosh, so Rob's a dancer. Tina, save that for a video. People are going to love to watch you guys dance. And one last question before we go. Does this honestly, does this not, Tina, they call me Longhorn Lester. I did not start that myself. That was something that someone called me and it kind of caught and I liked it. Tina, don't forget, I was a red rapper throughout middle school.
Yes, so Lester was Vanilla Ice.
He was also
Vanilla Ice.
Okay, so my thing is, and does this fit me? Does this fit me or not?
No.
Look, Tina, no? Tina,
I don't like that strap coming down.
Well, okay, we can just hide that. Tina, I got all this over here. Look, I
like that. I like that.
How about the hat? Does the hat not go with my skin?
Can you sing Vanilla Ice right now? Do Ice Ice Baby. You used to do the whole song.
Yeah, but this is about you, not about me, Tina. This was your time to shine, not mine. Okay.
All right. Lester used to get me in the most trouble with my mom and dad all the time.
Good. All the time. We have a lot of fun things to talk about, Tina, but I will let you go. I know.
Okay, yeah, I gotta go.
Clock. We love you so much, and I'm sharing the name of your page right now. So let's hope that people will go in, jump in, and we cannot wait to see more and hear more from you, Tina. We love you.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Tina. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and remove Tina. Oh, she removed herself. Tina is so tech savvy. She is so tech savvy that she literally removed herself. No one's ever done that. Normally, I have to kick them off my live. And Tina literally just removed herself. How did she do that? How did she do it? No one else can figure that out. Tina's good. So anywho, I'm going to go ahead and hide that. This is the name of Tina's channel, Tina and Rob Living Off the Hill. If you guys ever want to see a different perspective, y'all, a different perspective, one that's full of truth, it's very profound. It is probably doesn't go along with the narrative that you feel like Morrow Hill portrays in all of the channels. Then Tina's channel, Life and Rob Living Off the Hill, will show you a different perspective, that one you're not familiar with. Let me go ahead and hide that now, and we're going to talk a little bit. So what I don't want to do is give away too much of Sister Tina's content. And when I call her Sister Tina, it's the same as my sister Kim. She's not of the sisterhood. Do not think that Tina is one of those kind of sisters. No, Tina is not of the sisterhood. and as you get to know her, you will find more about that. No, she's not that kind of sister, okay? She is not that kind of sister at all. Nothing wrong with them kind of sisters, but that's my sister Tina. And so I do love Sister Tina and Sister Kim. They are both very, very special. Tina being a middle child like myself, and there are obviously there are struggles. Middle children do sometimes find themselves in a shadow. And I love the way Tina said that. She will always be in Sister Kim's shadow. And I will always be in the youngest of our family, Dan, Uncle Dan. I'll always walk in his shadow. I don't know why it is like that. Maybe if there's other children who are middle children on here, maybe you can put it into perspective of why it is that way. Or are you the exception? Are you the exception, middle children, because for the most part, middle children are kind of like the middle children. We're just kind of like the nobodies of the family. And Tina and I both have found ourselves in those situations a number of times. And some of those times are unfortunate because that's when you need your family the most. But that's not my story to tell. Yes, someone has noticed that Trixie is over there conked out behind me. As a matter of fact, if you can't tell, lying beside Trixie would be Millie. We do not sit on that couch. We refuse to because our dogs have taken it over, and that's pretty much the doggy couch. They also have their beds. And even though we always claimed to let the dogs in only during the heat of the summer, well, we've been guilty and we let the dogs in the house all the time because now they're used to it. And so now we can't really open the door without dogs coming in and some going out. It's like a revolving door here, like on those fancy apartments or buildings in New York. There's that revolving door. Some are coming in, some are coming out, and they're always moving around. I'm reading a lot about middle children over here. I wish you had the same access that I had to be able to show you all the comments that I'm seeing. But I'm seeing comments from both channels. Hey, do me a favor. This will be fun. Do me a favor. Well, it won't matter because no one can see it anyway except for me. Never mind. It was fun talking to Tina about her top 10. Her favorite sport were the Astros. Her favorite type of animal is a horse. Tina is a horseman, a horsewoman, horse person. She has had horses and ridden horses her entire life. Her favorite food, she said, was Mexican. Her biggest pet peeve are when her students don't put names on their papers. God, I know about that. Her favorite brother was, of course, she did say Lester, right? Did she say Lester? I was talking, couldn't you really hear? Her vacation spot was Cancun, Mexico. Jamie and I have been there with the kids twice, and we would also agree that Cancun is our favorite vacation spot. The reason we like Cancun, and I don't know this for a fact, but the times that we went, it was safer than all of the border towns. Cancun was safer because of the fact that it's kind of isolated in the fact that there's one road in and one road out. And that road is very heavily patrolled by Mexican National Guard, Mexican police. And so it would be really foolish for any of the cartel riffraff to take place on the Cancun resorts. They would literally be trapped in and have no way out. And so I think that Cancun is probably the safest of your Mexican resorts. I'm not positive about that. I'm just saying. Her Starbucks order, she does not waste her $4 a day. She makes her own coffee. She does not like to fold clothes. No, she does not like to put clothes away. She doesn't mind folding them. I think that's what she said. She doesn't like to put clothes away. Anyway, her favorite kid, she would not answer, but we all says, we already know it's Bennett because Bennett really is amazing. I also love Dustin, and I also love Elijah. I was blessed in the fact that I was the uncle who found myself divorced during the bulk of their childhood. I was divorced for 7 years. And during those 7 years, I had LE, my oldest son. And so we had kind of the happy house. We had the fun place to play. So all the kids from around the entire hill would come over to our place when Ellie was there, especially. And that's where we would spend our weekends. And they would spend the night. And I mean, there was a lot of ramen noodle being cooked up those weekends. And we found ways to have a lot of fun. Lots of wrestling matches on the trampoline, a lot of Xbox. And so I was very blessed to be a part of all of their lives. So I don't think, listen, this as horrible as this sounds, I don't think I would have been that same kind of uncle if I had been married. That sounds kind of mean, doesn't it? What I'm saying is, let's just imagine right now that I was with Jamie and during those same times of the year. I don't think that Jamie would be as inviting to open the door and having 10 kids come in pretty much every day throughout the entire day. During the summers, it was the entire 30 days of summer, or 40 days, or however long I had LE, 45 days. It was the entire 45 days of summer was a house full of kids. And so Brianne was a part of that. Jake was a part of that. Dustin, Bennett, every single one of them were a part of that. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. I have a very special bond with all of my nephews and my niece because of the fact that I was a part of raising them. So I think they all have lots of great memories of growing up. And lots of their childhood memories would involve their Uncle Lester. And so I'm really blessed for that. Lisa says, that was my house too. Actually, as a matter of fact, a lot of people are chiming in. Yep, that's my house. That's my house. That's my house. So maybe it's not just a guy thing. Yes. So Kenneth reminds me, well, Lester, you were the one who were off work. That's true. I was a school teacher. And so I was off during the summer months. And so I was home for the entire month of June and July, and that's when the kids are also home. So it's probably true. I had LE most of that time, and I was the guy who was off. So maybe I was just their glorified babysitter who was unpaid. Yes, I was unpaid. Tina, Kim, Daniel, I think that you guys might need to remember that I was unpaid for all of those hours of babysitting. So comments are flying by so fast that I'm not able to keep up with all of them. But my sister Tina has started her very own channel. I'm super proud of her, and I'm excited for all that YouTube has to offer. I'm sorry, Facebook, and eventually YouTube. I'm going to put that up there one more time. Tina and Rob living off the hill. So I'm going to put that up one last time, and I'll leave it for a couple of minutes. If you have a chance to run by and visit her channel, watch a couple of her videos. We're never going to ask you guys to like and subscribe. We're not one of those commercials who's like, come on, everyone click that like button, hit that bell to get notifications. Make sure you subscribe. Of course, we like that. And that's what Facebook and YouTube like. That helps get your page recognized. And that also gives you a little bit more clout when it comes to those channels recommending your videos to other people. But we feel extremely blessed to be able to share our story with you. And if our channels never grow from what we have right now, then they stop growing. We're not those we're not for sale. I will just say it that way. And we're not for sale. The Life on Mar Hill channels are not for sale. But thank you for those who do subscribe. The advantage to subscribing is the fact that whenever you go to YouTube, the channels you subscribe to will pop up. You don't have to go looking for them every single time. It costs nothing. YouTube is free. The same as Facebook, it's free. Facebook is a whole lot harder to find yourself a platform because they require 10,000 followers and they require just about as many watch hours, which means that before you can ever have a page on YouTube, you have to meet certain criteria. I'm a Survivor Sanctuary was lucky. We were just lucky. We came across Facebook at a time when they were first starting their Facebook Watch, which was their version of YouTube. And they reached out to us. Now, at that point, it was just me, not Jamie, but they reached out and they wanted to know would I be willing to upload my videos to a page instead of my personal profile page to an actual business page. And I had no idea. I had no idea. I was a guy who was just trying to rebuild my home and rebuild my farm. I had no idea what video creating was all about. And even though I'd heard about this all my life, I never had any idea what it was all about and what it entailed. But I agreed. And so what happened was they had a rep who began to set everything up for me. And it was real simple. I'd upload the exact same videos that I was already uploading, and they began to make money. And so how blessed was I? but I kind of walked into it during the whole post Hurricane Harvey stuff. All the other creators have had to kind of find their window, piggybacking off of I'm a Survivor, obviously, and they found their own niche. I will call it a niche. They found their own niche. I could call it a niche, or I could call it a cult, because, oh my gosh, let's talk about that for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this over here now. Friends, I don't know if it's a niche or a cult following, and I'm so sorry if that hurts your feelings, but we have had so much drama lately because some of the pages are so divisive. It's very divisive. And we've always joked about PPATs, about the PPATs on our page. They come to our page not to enjoy a video, not for the edutainment that the video hopefully provides, but they come to the page just to be critical, just to criticize. And then if lo and behold, other channels don't begin other channels begin to pop up. And yes, 5 years. Colleen, thank you for recognizing that. Oh, wrong one. Yes, we've been going strong for 5 years. Can you believe that? I'm a Survivor Sanctuary has been going strong for 5 darn years. That's just unheard of. There's no other internet channels been going that long. None. Zero. Look it up. None. And then that's just such a blessing. And I've told Tina this, and I've told all the creators, if you can just try to find a way to keep it real. You have to work, y'all. It's not gonna happen by itself. You have to work. But video creating simply means getting up every day and saying, thank you, God, that I don't have to go to a 9-to-5 job. Instead, my 9-to-5 job is to walk my ass out that door and video the blessings that abound in front of me. Yes, there's a plethora of blessings that abound in front of you. And if those blessings are in fact what's helping you pay your bills and keeping you from having to wake up every morning when that alarm goes off and putting on your makeup or whatever you do as a guy or a girl, and instead of having to drive an hour through traffic and go to a job where you have a boss nagging on your ass about not doing this and you're not doing that, you're not doing this, we don't have to do any of that. We're blessed to be able to stay home and video what we have around us and share that. And so that is a gift for many, and it may be a burden for some. I don't know. But what a blessing to be a video creator. And then, of course, I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, along with Longhorn Lester's, takes a lot of pride in the fact that we've never missed a day. Am I tooting my own horn? Am I sitting here tooting my own horn, as they say? I'm not trying to do that. I have other things to talk to you about. Let me get off of me, and let's get off of I'm a Survivor and talk about rain. Watch this, y'all. So I want to show you something kind of exciting. There are specks of green grass starting to pop up in my pastures. Now, of course, this is the side where we have our bulls, and all of that grass has just kind of died back because of the drought. Okay, so that's exciting. But this over here might be even more exciting. I want to show you what I discovered this morning. I'm going to pull over and I'm going to turn off my side-by-side so you can hear me. All right, now check this out. You have to have a good eye for this, okay? But can you all see what I see? Right there in the center of your screen, I know, that's grass. And it extends down right along that little stretch right there. Can anyone see the grass? I think that I was recording in 4K, and I think it's too bright. I don't know for a fact if you can see the grass. Can y'all see what I see? I know that it's not perfect quality, and I should have thought about that. My phone did an update, and during the update, it switched all of my defaults back, and I took it off of 4K because 4K may be great for a device that can run 4K. But if your device cannot run 4K, that means like a super high definition. And personally, my phone records in 4K, but my laptop that I'm using is older. And so it cannot play it in 4K. So what I'm noticing right now is a really bright screen. I can't really see. But if your device is in 4K, you might be able to see it. But no, all I see is something very, very bright. Bottom line is, let me hide that. Friends, we have grass. That's a hair. That's a hair. Someone says, wipe your nose. I'm like, guys, those are hairs. And sometimes I have an occasional gray hair pop up, and it may look like something else, but there's nothing nasty on my face. Someone says, thank you, Jesus, for wiping. God, come on, y'all. No, so there is literally, after yesterday's rain we had 2 inches yesterday, just under 2 inches. I'm just going to round it up to 2 inches. And then we had a very light rain overnight. I don't think it was even measurable because I couldn't see anything really in my gauge. But at least it kind of like softened the ground. And then the 2-inch rain. And of course, it has rained a couple of times today, just kind of the soaking showers, nothing really hard, just some soft soaking showers. And already I made that video before I come inside just now, and I can see traces of green starting to, I'm just going to call it, pop out. And so we are very, very blessed for that, which means that a lot of the seed that the hydro seeding put down, it just laid there dormant. It never got enough water to actually begin the process. And so we're going to continue to keep our fingers crossed and say our prayers, and hopefully this rain will continue. I would say for a week, y'all. We are so far behind on rain. But I don't want to be greedy, and I'm just going to be thankful for what we do get. And if it stops today, I will say thank you, God, for the rain we got today, or for the last couple of days. But so yeah, that's that. Let me go ahead and talk about that if I can real fast. There was one more thing I wanted to share with you of utmost importance. I don't think I sent that to my computer, but I want to. What I'm going to do is send this over to my computer right now. Turn on your Bluetooth. I turned everything off so that I wouldn't have any interruptions during my live. I'm going to play something for you. And this is very troubling. So give me a second to load it. Hey folks, Lester here. We have a problem. I talk so darn fast in this. I wanted to make this into what Facebook calls a reel. And so they only give you 60 seconds. So I knew to make sure I could do this in 60 seconds, I had to talk fast. So I'll go ahead and play it for you. Then we'll talk about it. There's this sweet lady. Oh, she looks so sweet. Ann Craven Yeoman, who's actually going to my page and other pages. And in the comments, she's tagging all of your names and trying to sell you her merchandise. She's giving you the link to her merchandise. My friends, hey, I'm working on a video over here. I noticed that a lot of folks are falling for it. And they're trying to say, I don't get paid till later this month. Can I buy it then? And she's like, sure, just send me your information in a direct message. That's a scam. I try to block her, and it won't let me block her. You're not able to block this lady. So I was able to go by and at least try to delete her message. So I found it. I was able to delete it. And so it's removed, or at least I hope it is. But friends, just know you have to be aware of scams like this. Please be careful. All right, so I'm going to back up 1 second. We're going to talk about that comment. But Ann Craven Yeoman, my friends, don't look at the lady's face and the husband or the partner behind her and think that's a real person. Now, they're real people, but I can promise you something. The scammers are more than likely, I don't want to say foreign, but they're not who they say they are. You cannot continue to look at the face on a profile, be it a very handsome man or a pretty girl or a nice looking couple, and believe that who you're looking at is truly who you're looking at. Because anybody with any technology skills whatsoever can touch that picture and save it, and they can start their very own page and use that picture as their profile picture. So this lady, I think, had a total of 3 or 4 actual friends. So, which means it was probably a fake account. So if you go over there and start looking for Ann Craven Yeoman to be mean to her, that's very sad, because more than likely it's not even her. So don't do that. Just be aware of whenever you see people doing stuff like this. The technology of today is so great that they have a way to go in and copy the name of every person who commented on my video, and then copy and paste those to her very own comment so that you would get notified that she is selling merchandise. And I felt so sad that there were people who were actually replying to her saying, because you thought it was us. You thought it was us because it was on our page. And guys, that's not how it works. So I'm going to ask you again, you'd be better off just being cautious and guaranteeing yourself that you don't open up your credit card or your bank account to anybody unless you know for a fact it is them. The reason that I found out this was happening is because there were so many people who were sending me emails, or they were sending me messages on the WhatsApp app saying, Lester, is this you? Lester, is this you? Lester, is this a scam? And I saw it and I'm like, oh my God. So I try to go block the lady, even though it's not really a lady. We already know it's not a lady. And I try to go block her or that fake page. And the technology is so great that it would not allow me to block them. How scary is that? It makes me so upset. It makes me very upset for YouTube. Because I'm sorry, Facebook, because Facebook will not put a stop to mess like that. With all of the money that Facebook/Meta makes, they still can't find a way to stop the scammers from getting onto someone's page and wreaking havoc, especially on good, hardworking folks like you all are. And so I am so sorry. I think that what they do, the scammers have a way to look at the analytics the same way that we do. They can find a target audience. They're like, oh, this page has an audience of 45 and older. Those people don't know nothing. So they start trying to scam you. Or those people will give you the shirt off their back and they start trying to scam you. And so they target you, friends. They target you. So just don't believe a darn thing that you see. Please don't believe that mess. And don't ever open up, don't accept a friend's request from someone that you don't know personally. Why should you? Why should you be friends with just Joe Blow? What's it going to benefit you to allow Joe Blow into your everyday world, to see your family, to see your children, to meet your parents, to see where you had dinner, to see your birthday? What's it going to benefit you? Because Joe Blow is not real. Instead, you're giving him access to your entire world. So just be very cautious. And for the people who are saying, I'm not 45, I'm only 31. Yes, I know that we do have some that are younger, but the majority of our folks are 45 plus. And that's why I just kind of say that that's the bulk of our audience. Okay, Cheryl Timmons must have just joined. You have to get Tina on a live. Well, she was here for 30 minutes. Miss Cheryl, Tina joined me at the beginning of my live. She is a school teacher, and so she was on for 30 minutes. Your parents and siblings do not mention Tina and Rob living off the hill. I saw the intro a week ago. So I was the first one to talk about their page and how proud I was that she finally started one. But the way it works with social media is you need to do an archive of videos before you publicly announce your page. And Sister Kim has talked about it. Jamie has talked about it. And at this point, Tina and Rob have made enough videos. They've uploaded enough videos to now they have an archive. What that means is if you go visit their page, you have enough content to look at to have an idea of whether you want to follow Tina or not. And so if a video creator only has one video and they go public with that one video, you only really have one snapshot of their life. So what they always suggest is that you have an archive of 10, 15 videos to give people an idea of who you are and what kind of things you're going to see on their channel. So Tina was live with me today. And so I'll hope you will go by and, well, if you've already found her channel, that would be great. I'm guessing that at this point, my mom and dad and my other siblings will begin to talk more about it because as of now, she is officially live. And we gave out the page link. We talked about how as of right now, she's only on YouTube because that's the easier platform to get started on. But she does hope to eventually, once she kind of finds her way through social media, can evolve into Facebook, which is a whole lot harder to work with. And everyone will tell you that Facebook is not as easy to navigate. Facebook is constantly changing the rules. Facebook is constantly, don't even get me started. I love Facebook. They've been good to me, but boy, they are hard. I worry about Facebook though. All right. So some other things going on is just real simple. We're getting close to my hour. Tina and Rob was the highlight of our video today. We did have rain for a day and a half. We've gotten over 2 inches by now. I'm certain of it. So happy about that. There is a scammer who's operating on a lot of pages trying to tag you. I think they call that tagging you to hopefully get your attention and hoping that you'll buy something from them. Now, will you ever receive what you buy? Probably not. They're going to probably take your credit card information or your PayPal information or Zelle, whatever you use, and you'll never see the first product. And then you will never get your money back because it doesn't work that way. You got scammed. So please do not give in to anybody. Okay, last thing. Here we go. Let's talk about this, and then I will end my life. Let's talk. This is probably the most important thing I'm going to say today, and then I will end this live. My friends, the fencing at I'm a Survivor Sanctuary is an issue. But hear me, because no one watched the full video. The problem with my cows getting out this most recent time was not the fencing. It was someone left the gate open. Someone left the back gate open. Whoever has been going into the back pasture alongside the river left my gate open. And that gate should have never been left open. That gate should have never been left open. But what I did do was go down. I showed you all in that video why we cannot leave that gate open. I literally, in my video, put a chain and a lock on that gate. And so that gate will not be left open again. I have the key and no one else. So there's no one who needs to be down on my property alongside the river. And so that gate is locked. Now, I'm certain at some point you'll hear a crybaby video about poor me, I don't have a key. All I do is whatever. And I'm going to say to you this. I will not allow my cows to continue to be sabotaged. I'm not. So I locked my gate. Lester locked his gates. And so there's nothing to cry about with that. I locked my gates. This is not the first time or the second time or the third time that my cows have gotten out through an open gate. So my gates are locked. If you're going to be mad about Lester locking his gates, then listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. You're mad that I locked my gates to protect my cows. You would not believe how many people have already come at me because of my throwing accusations around. Well, you know what? My cows and their well-being and the fact that they don't get into fights and they don't get bred by Moses is worth fighting over. So I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings, but if the protection of my cows and their future offspring is not worth fighting for you, then you probably are on the wrong page. But I am sick of having my cows the center of attention, especially if I feel like it was a sabotaged type setup, something that was not done by me. And so there are locks, chains, and locks on my gates. So if there's any other questions about that, then I'll be more than happy to address them. But I don't think a man can be criticized for padlocking his gates. I'll say again, there's no reason for anybody to be in my pastures. And so if Brienne goes over to play with the horse, well, I don't want to lock Brienne out of my pasture, so Brienne will have access to the front pastures. But as far as the back pastures go, there should be nobody back in my pastures. LE does not. So for everyone saying it was probably LE, guys, listen to what you're saying. Listen to yourselves. You'll find anyone to point fingers at. It was not LE. LE does not like the Longhorns. He does not go to the woods. LE is more of a animal lover of a different variety. The goats, cats, rabbits, chickens, and he does not mess around or drive through or mess around with the Longhorns. So it was not LE. All right. I'll just go ahead and clear that real fast. LE did not go to the back by the river. He did not open the gate. He's terrified of spiders too. Don't be mad at LE because I'm terrified of frogs. So fine. Some people says, why are you so upset? Why am I so upset? I'm upset because of the fact that you guys are upset with me for locking my gates. A man has the right to lock his gates. So now, since we have 3 minutes left, I'm going to ask you a question. This is a question. Here's my question. This is something that I am suggesting to Jamie. Jamie and I will be the ones who make the final decision. But I told Jamie we could bring all of the cows to Longhorn Lester's and take all horses and donkeys to I'm a Survivor. Yes or no? Now, instead of saying just yes or just no, tell me why. Tell me why. Don't just say yes or no, because right now it's back and forth. We could argue all day and we can start counting the yeses and nos. But my question to you is, why would we not do that? If we had all of the cows here, we could still put all of the heifers and the cows, the females, over on one side, the larger side with the pond. If grass is starting to grow, we could put our bulls over on the other side. And so we would have our 10 cows. That means we would qualify for our tax exemption. You need at least 10 cows to qualify for an ag exemption. They call it an ag exemption. All those 10 cows must be at the same property. The downfall to that is it would send Voodoo, Bucky's, Beverly, and Ivy to join Donkey Dan, Imogene, and our new filly. Everyone knows Senorita. That would put those 7 horses, donkeys, at I'm a Survivor. And so that is what we're talking about right now. That's what we're talking about right now. We cannot put our bulls in with our heifers, obviously. We know that would be a disaster. You can't control what happens. Our fencing here at Longhorn Lester's is amazing fencing. It was expensive fencing. It is the best fencing of either of our properties, and it would keep our bulls out of the pasture with the heifers. We do not want any more offspring as of right now. We have 7 females plus our 2 calves. Eventually, we will add Danny and Ruby to the mix of females, which will give us 9 females plus anyone who might be pregnant now, who might already been bred. We'll have our 3 bulls, obviously Wayland, Tex, and as of now, Santoro. So, as far as Voodoo and his sunburn issues, I told Jamie we could have a summer camp the same way we bring goats over here because the summer times offers plenty. We could bring Voodoo over here with Bucky's and for a summer camp, possibly. I don't know. Guys, there's a whole lot of thinking that has to go into this. I mean, a lot. But we cannot risk and gamble with the well-being of the Longhorns. There would be no risk with the horses. If you don't already know this, horse people will know this, but a horse will stay in with one single strand of wire. One. Indy would go with the horses. Indy would live with the horses. Indy is, in fact, a horse. She thinks she's a horse. So a horse will stay in with one single strand of wire. Cows will not. They will find their way through. Well, especially if there's an open gate, they'll find their way through. But we have to stop the gates from getting open. I've solved that problem. The fencing is not in the best of shape. It needs to have an entire, I'm going to say 1,000 yards of new fencing put up. And that would be a 5-strand fence, which would be lots of work. And I don't think right now with the ground being so hard, it's even possible. So that's what we're looking at, possibly bringing all of the cows to Longhorn Lester's, dividing them on each side of the property, all horses and donkeys to I'm a Survivor, where we still go to I'm a Survivor. You know, I'm there almost every day, every other day for sure. We have stalls over there that were built for our horses. We have shelter for our horses. The cows seldom go into the shelter. You already know that. So we could also have one type of hay, which is the horse hay at that property, have all of our cow hay, which is a different kind of hay, over at this property. So I'll tell you what, someone says, which property are you at the most? Well, I'm at Longhorn Lester's the most, obviously, but I do make daily trips over to I'm a Survivor. I'm there both days on the weekends. So, man, there's a lot of comments, friends, and I would love to answer every one. They're going so fast. Okay, so Bev will be fine. She'll adjust. Okay, I'm just grabbing anything. I'm just grabbing anything. Yes, for all the cows to Longhorn Lester's, and no for the horses and donkeys to I'm a Survivor. Just lock the gate with a lock, what you already did, and the only key with you and Jamie. So there's not enough pasture here for cows and horses. Horses eat 3 times the amount of food that cows eat. And so donkeys and horses eat more than your cows eat. We do have enough pasture here for cows. We do not have enough pasture here for horses and cows. So that's why we cannot do that. Indy will go with Beverly. Indy will go with Beverly. All cows to Longhorn Lester's is a great idea. You'll have much better control of your gates and fences. I agree. The stakes are so high for little mixed breed babies if Moses impregnates any of the girls. Thank you, Charity, for understanding that and looking out for the best interest of the cows. And what she's saying is very true. My friends, Longhorn Lester's, and I've made no, this is not a secret. This is not a secret. Some people don't want to hear this, but this is no secret. that once social media runs its course and we are no longer able to make a living from social media, I will officially apply for retirement. And so I will get my teacher retirement, and I will supplement that by the use of my Longhorns. So it's important to me that I keep a very pure bloodline of Longhorns. The only way a Longhorn is going to pay for itself is your bulls, if they're purebred, can become herd bulls to other ranches. That means forever homes. Forever homes. That does not mean go to a sale barn and be sent around through pasture after pasture after pasture and then eventually become slaughtered. That's not going to happen to any of my cows. I will not breed if that's where we find ourselves, okay? But the problem with a mixed breed, a beef master like Moses and a Longhorn, is that they eat way too much and require way too much just to be a big pasture pet, to be art for your pasture. And we don't have the pasture space for that at either property. So it's imperative that we keep those cows and that bull separated. It's imperative, not for my cows, but for the offspring. We will not, we cannot have ourselves having to send cows off to auction. That's not who we are. That's not what we do. And so if Ellie doesn't like bigs, then he won't take care of horses and donkeys either. So the beauty in horses and donkeys is the fact that you should not, guys, you should not give them grains every single day. You should not. So what you do is drop off rolls of hay. And there's a special hay. It's normally a coastal hay. It's a clean hay. And that is what your horses generally will eat from. Like I said, I'm there every other day at least, sometimes every day, but if not, every other day. So the horses will be taken care of. They'll be looked over. They'll be looked at. There's Brienne, there's Megan, who do love horses. So there's Sister Kim that does love horses. So don't ever think that any animal at the sanctuary is being mistreated or neglected or anything like that. Look at the pictures. Picture proof. The pictures speak more than my words. And look at the health of our animals, even despite going through a horrendous drought. A horrendous drought. There's no animals at I'm a Survivor Sanctuary who will ever go without nutrition or clean water. If it takes me spending every penny I make, they will go with clean, fresh water and good, proper nutrition, along with all of the nutrients that it takes, the salt blocks, the mineral blocks, the dewormers, the vet care. So that's I'm sorry, healing art, but you're just trying to find reason to fight. And that's not a reason to fight, because as of right now, the Longhorns are at I'm a Survivor. Ellie didn't touch them. And guess what? They're at the pinnacle of health, even despite a drought. They are very well taken care of. All of our animals are. That's a promise that we made. I'm going to talk about that just for a second. Do I sound like I'm going like crazy here? Do I sound like there's a lot of energy in the room? I feel like if it's the animals who have taken such great care of us, it's the animals that have allowed us to not work a 9-to-5 job. It's the animals who've allowed us a platform, an audience. Then it's our responsibility to give back 100% to those animals. And what that means is you give back in the form of vet care, nutrition, clean water, shelter. And you can just go through the number of things that animals need, and to give them their very best life, because they have in fact given us our very best life. I don't know why that's so hard to understand, but there are hundreds, maybe thousands of video creators that use animals to make money, yet it's very rare to see them give back to their animals. I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, Longhorn Lesters, from Suits to Boots, will never be guilty of that. We will never be guilty of taking in more than we give back. Never, never, never. I really do feel myself getting a little bit upset, and I don't know why, but I feel like the comments that I'm reading are a whole lot of picking. Question: does the I'm a Survivor Sanctuary board decide what comes to the property and what goes? So not necessarily, but yes and no. So the I'm a Survivor nonprofit board decides on everything that has to do with the nonprofit. But I will say this, it mostly means the monies. We are very heavily scrutinized with the monies. The monies, when I say the monies, I know that the word is money, but you can also say monies when it comes from multiple sources. So we have stopped the donations. We stopped the donations because it was, we don't want your money. I'm going to say it again. We do not want your money, but we do still have the Facebook supporters. And so for the Facebook supporters, every single penny that comes in, and that's a separate account. Every single penny that comes in from the Facebook supporters is directly spent in accordance to what the board says it has to be spent on. And I can list those very easily. Vet care, feeds. Those are the main two things right over there. None of that money goes to me. I don't take any of that money and goes into Lester's account so I can go buy me a nice pair of shoes or a new hat. We don't do that. We're never going to be accused, or no one has any room to ever point us, oh, so this is another, what's that guy's name, the pastor who I always talk about, him and his wife? Come on, y'all. What was the pastor and his wife that begged for money just to live lavish lifestyles? I forgot their names. No, so I will just say that when it comes to the monies, they just, yes, the bakers, Tammy Faye, and I believe it was Jim and Tammy Faye Baker were the pastors who begged you for your money just to live a very lavish lifestyle. You'll never get us in that category. But so when it comes to this over here, the I'm a Survivor board, it's a nonprofit board. It is 7 members, and they collectively agree. Now, sometimes we disagree, but it's always a decision based on vote. And so we pretty much can always agree that the animals have to come first. So that's a great question. I don't have my glasses on to see what your name is. Gutters Pub. Thank you for asking that. Not many people ask about stuff like that, and I'm surprised they don't. What will happen if a fire threatens Tex and you cannot get him into the trailer to get him out of Longhorns? I open the gate and let him run down the road. Kate, I open the gate and let Tex run down the road, and I'll deal with it later, okay? But fire will never consume my animals, okay? That's a sweet question. Great idea. It's Longhorn Lester's for a reason. It needs all of its Longhorns. Miss Nikki, that's the only way I'm ever going to find peace in my heart, is to know that my Longhorns are protected and they got my eyes and my ears watching over them. I'm sorry, but it's very difficult to have the two separated. I don't think we have the same concerns with horses. Well, first of all, that both of our horses are geldings, which means they've already been cut. And so we don't have horses next door that are going to be fighting through the fence and at risk of impregnating anybody. So, I'm just trying to find questions. What will happen to Indy to keep her away from Ernie? So Indy will be in the back pasture. So, we have the front pastures. There's 3 combined pastures that make up about 5 acres. And that's where the goats, Annie and Ernie, live. The back pastures now, it entails our bullpen, the pasture beside the bullpen, the back, and then the back is about a total of, I'm going to say 15 acres. I haven't ever like measured them out exact, but about 15 acres. And so Indy is in fact she's made her decision. She hangs out with the donkeys here and the horses. So if we did move her back, she would stay with the horses and with the donkeys. I feel like I've gone way over my time, but there's so many questions. After hearing your arguments, I rescind my no. Rescind. So, Michael, I'm not sure what you're saying. So you're saying yes, you're saying no. You rescind your no. I rescind. I don't know if you mean like you take it back or you once again say, I say no. I say no. Not real sure what you mean by that. Wait, people. I have seen LE help Lester get Tex back in the pasture. So he might not kiss them, but if they needed him, he would be there. I think Lester has more experience with Longhorns. And Liz, I would say absolutely. It is not a parent's role to tell their kids what they may and may not love and prefer when it comes to animal care. So I like ostriches, and there are most people who would never go inside the pasture with an ostrich. I like Longhorns. There's many people who would never put themselves inside the pasture with a Longhorn. I don't hold that against them. That's just my preference. That's what I like. And so in saying so, that's what I like to do. And since this is kind of like my life, I want to find the passions that bring me joy and bring me zest. And so ostriches, which you might not see a reason for them. They don't make us any money. And Longhorns, I love them. And that's just what I like to raise. It's like my favorite pets. Okay. Julia, you're joining the party pretty late, sweet girl. Gloria, bring your Longhorn cows home and take the horses to I'm a Survivor. Longhorn Lester's was meant for the Longhorns. Your horses will be fine at I'm a Survivor. All your animals are well taken care of. I love watching y'all take care of your animals. You're so good to them and you love them all. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and just end with that over there. I think that by and large, if you take a collective look at all of the babies who we've been entrusted to take care of and offer a forever home to, that goes for the feathered babies to the cows and horses and donkeys and pigs and whatnot. We've learned a lot. The goats, we have learned so darn much. And I'm not saying it's been easy. Some animals are harder than others, but we're never going to purposely neglect anything. There's a learning curve to taking care of animals. For people who've never really worked with horses, we're trying to learn now how to work with Rita. That's been very difficult for me. My biggest fear with Rita is not what she might do to me, but what she may do to my sweet niece, Brienne, or what she may do to Ellie or Megan, what she could do to Jamie. I don't want to see anyone get hurt by her because we don't know what we're doing. And so, but at the same time, I love her and I don't want to say goodbye to her. I don't want to move her along. I think that she's happy, but with being happy, she has to also learn her boundaries. And I'm very grateful for the people who've reached out to us to offer different forms of advice for those who we talk to, who tell us what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. I think that the unanimous voice with Rita, though, says that we need consistency. We can't be one person allows this, one person does this, one person does this. So what we're trying to do is put the cameras on a tripod or put the cameras away. We have to stop walking around with Rita doing this. A video with Rita cannot be about ourselves. It cannot. A video with Rita has to have your phone put on a tripod from a distance, and you have to give her 100% attention, because if you don't, I'm afraid that what you're going to end up doing is, in an effort to grab a cute moment or a sweet moment, you're going to end up getting yourself hurt. She needs training. She needs discipline. And you can't do that with your phone in your hand. And so we've been talking about that for a little bit. Put the phone on a tripod. If you want the video, then put the phone on a tripod and you give Rita 100% attention. You better watch her because she can sometimes do things that are very unexpected. And so, yes, the rule of thumb is put your phone down. If we're sincerely there to help Rita, then we have to focus on Rita. If we want that video to help us in teaching ourselves or having you guys critique us, then that goes on a tripod. And I'm pretty sure that everyone's been doing that. I don't know for a fact because I don't watch every video, but I'm pretty sure, well, I know for a fact I've had that discussion, and I'm pretty sure that we all agree on that. Phones down when it comes to working with Rita. No selfie modes, but tripods are absolutely acceptable. Lester, please clear up about Rocky. What do you want me to clear up, Miss Marie? I love Rocky. Rocky has sort of found himself a character here at Longhorn Lester's. I'm going to, yes, I did offer Rocky to Megan once she has an established run for Rocky to go. But I'm having second thoughts, and I have not talked to Megan about this yet. But the closer it gets, and I was over there yesterday, and I was watching Ellie out building that run. And I says, "What are you doing, son?" And he's trying to surprise Megan. He wanted to surprise her and build the run before she got home. And all of a sudden it hit me that once that run is finished, that in fact, Megan may say, "Hey, I'm ready for Rocky now." And I'm not ready to say goodbye to Rocky yet. So, man, I don't know, y'all. I'm sorry that I love this darn rooster. But in all honesty, I don't know. Here's what I will say. If Rocky does stay here, is this a Boy Scout pledge? I pledge, or whatever, Boy Scout honor. I'm not a Boy Scout, but I will build Rocky a bigger place. Barbara, you're a very handsome man. Barbara McClure is a very handsome Chicago Cubs fan. I'm looking at your thumbnail, Barbara. I'm guessing that's your husband or your son or a boyfriend. But anywho, sorry, didn't mean to do that. But Barbara, Rocky does need a bigger home, and he also needs some lady friends to call his girls. He needs some girls. So I believe that Megan will understand. And that's how animals are, y'all. When you first get them, you don't really have a personal attachment. But by spending every single day out there, hearing that rooster scream and holler at me, seeing how much he loves hanging out with Carl and Tat, and how Carl and Tat love hanging out with him, I don't know. I just have some kind of a special bond now. I kind of love him, even though I can't stand him half the time. Please don't hate me. Whatever we decide, please don't hate me. Please understand that it's just a love. And I will pledge to you, Barbara, I pledge that I will, if I keep him, I will build him a bigger home, a much bigger home. But one far enough out there where he's not going to be right here screaming in my ear all the time. So I told you guys I was going to be leaving 23 minutes ago. And so I really do need to get going. So someone says, can Rocky free range? I don't think that's a good idea unless there's a way to pin him up at night, because we do have a red fox that runs around our hill. We have 1,000 pictures of that red fox in our cameras coming into our shop to eat our cat food. And I don't think a red fox would walk by Rocky without trying to bother him. So if we do in fact keep Rocky, and I find a way to let him free range by day, he must be put away and locked up at night. That's a must. But that's all to be decided. our bigger concern right now is what to do with the Longhorns, because we have to make them our number one priority, because that's been too many close calls, too many close calls. So, friends, I really have kept you very long, and I apologize for that. I will put my hat on one last time so I can tip my hat to you. Thank y'all for watching. I love you so much. I need you in my life. Don't forget to go by Sister Tina's channel and say hello to her. She has a lot of cute little videos you can look at and to kind of get an idea of who she is. And like I said earlier, and I'll say it one last time, there's a lot that Tina holds in. There is a lot that Tina holds in that I know the same way you have offered me an outlet to get things off my chest, to help offer me therapy. I know that you'll do the same thing for Tina. And so she will need your support and she'll need your love, probably more than anyone else in the Morrow family. Tina has been through more. She's overcome more. And she absolutely has an amazing story to tell. And you'll want to be a part of that journey as she finds a way to open up to you all. So Tina and Rob, living off the hill. So thank y'all. We love you, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Happy Friday.